Good morning. I didn't film much last night. I was pretty done in by the time I got here, and people just started showing up. I think there were more than 8 people at this spot last night. It was pretty busy. I had a lot of hip pain yesterday, and the fiasco with the water, and I'm really thinking about switching things up. I've given this some thought. What I found out here is that there's an intensity to stay on this trail because you continually have to push to get to a next water source, and there's a pretty stiff competition for campsites. So when you find a campsite that's maybe 5 to 10 miles ahead, you want to camp there, you have to get there early enough or it will be taken. And then when you combine those logistics with getting a campsite after water, which is what everyone else is doing, it gets fairly intense, and it takes away from the reason I'm out here. I really enjoy the morning hike, but then the afternoon comes and you're just really pushing to make sure you can get to your water source, make sure you can get a campsite, and interestingly, the people last night were not very friendly. They were, I won't say they were rude, but they were just standoffish. And I'm not fond of being around a lot of people anyway, but I've found that all of the serious hikers tend to not engage at all, which is not a problem, I guess. I had just hoped for more socializing and not even socializing, just friendliness. And just a few words is fine. That aspect has been a little disappointing, with the exception of some random people that I've met on the trail. And those interactions have been great. So I think the biggest takeaway for me is I'm a little concerned about the hip pain because it's been coming and going, but not going away fully and coming back pretty consistently, despite doing Jinshin Jitsu and stretching. So I don't want to damage anything permanently. So I'm taking a day off here at this, I think it's Brown Mountain Shelter, and just reconsidering letting my hip rest. I've got water here. I found a campsite that's, 500-600 feet down the road out of sight from the camp, where I can just have a little bit of quiet time to myself when it gets busy tonight. And I'm going to reevaluate things. It's been a nice day here at camp. I've just been hanging out, watching the bunnies and listening to the birds, and just kind of reevaluating my gear, my body, just enjoying myself in the sunshine. I'm cooking up some noodles for lunch. That's nice. Being off trail lets me have the time to cook those. I'm enjoying my day off, but I have to say it's a little bit boring sitting around all by yourself in the woods. But still good. I think I've gotten a little bit of an idea of what's going on with my hip. I've had so many cold nights I sleep curled up in a ball on my side, and I think that may be the aggravating factor. Last night I was kept awake from like midnight till 3 o'clock this morning because I think there were mice trying to climb up the outside of my tent. That shelter is infested with mice, and they said to camp far away from it, and I thought I did, but I don't think I did far enough because I kept having to whack the outside of my tent to make them fall off. So I moved about, 1,000 feet away from camp, found a nice little flat spot out in the woods where I will presumably not be bothered by mice, and I also won't be bothered by other campers who like to hike in late at night and make a lot of noise. So I'm pretty happy to be out on my own. I haven't seen any other hikers that are to stay the night. A couple have come through and got water and left. I don't even know if anyone else is going to be here tonight. Since I have so little content today, I thought I would just quickly go over my gear in case anybody's interested. This is by no means a review. as far as the quality or anything like that. Just for interest. Here's my tent. It has an opening on this side and the other side. This is a Nemo Hornet. This is an older one. There's a newer one available. And then outside the tent door here, I have my folding accordion pad that will go under my sleeping bag at night, but I use it to sit on in the daytime. And then laying over here, I have trekking poles, my shade umbrella, and of course my trowel for cat holes and toilet paper. And then on my trekking pole, I have, where is this little tripod that comes off of here. I mostly leave it on my trekking pole and just use it on here. Sometimes I take it off and use it as a tripod as well for filming. So outside the tent here, I have my water filter. I actually have 2 of these, a backup in case one fails. And then my camp shoes, which I have not used at all. Inside, I have my inflatable pad that goes on top of the accordion pad, my sleeping bag liner, which will go inside, and then my pillow. And then over here, I have a bag with clothes, just extra clothes. I've got extra socks, a wind jacket, an extra pair of thermals, an extra t-shirt, a bug net, and then I also have a bag with just my sleep gear and a bandana, my thermals for sleep, and an extra pair of socks and a buff to help keep my neck warm at night. And then I have a first aid kit that has just the basics in it: band-aids, thermal blanket, some gloves, needle and thread, waterproof matches, just a wide variety of first aid for me and for my gear. And then I have a personal care kit here that has body wipes, brush, toothbrush, and eye care stuff, just all my personal stuff. And then I have my food bag over here, and that is, I just keep all my food in that bag at all times. And because my food is heavy, that always goes in the bottom of my pack. So at the beginning of the day, I take my food out for the day and put it where I can get to it. And then this bag holds all of my electronics. I've got a charging cube and cables. I've got a couple of Anchor power banks and my headlamp. And then, of course, I have my fanny pack in the front. I keep chapstick, sunscreen, bug lotion. And then in the main pocket here, I keep all my snacks for the day and a few things that I use regularly. Leukotape for my feet for blisters, and some other things that I just need throughout the day. And then in the back pocket, I keep my personal stuff, my permit, ID. And then this bag you've seen on the top of my pack before. And that is where, when I pick all my food out of my food bag in the morning that I want to keep out, I put them in that bag and throw it on top of my pack. And in this is my spoon and my toothbrush. That way I can remember to brush my teeth when I put my spoon away. Of course, my gas canister, and then all of my cooking gear is in this little package. So I'll open it up and show it to you. So it comes out of the package looking like this. This is the lid to my pot, and then I store inside my pot a Talente jar that is used for cold soaking, although I have to say I haven't used it very much. And then inside of here, this is my gas stove, which I'll show you in just a second. And then I keep some enzymes in case I end up sick. I keep, let's see, some camp soap, a flip fuel device to transfer gas from one canister to another, a tiny little sponge, and my lighter. This is my stove that goes on top of the fuel canister. So these just flip open like this. And you have to get them open in the right order or they run into each other. And you just push them down. And then this just attaches right here to the top of the fuel canister, and the pot sits on it. And that works really well. A lot of people have had complaints about this particular item, but it's really lightweight, and I've had no problems with it. So other than my water bottles and pack, that's pretty much all my gear. Seems like not a lot, but when it's on my back, it seems like a lot. But it's enough to meet all my needs while I'm out here. I'm laying in my tent, getting ready to go to sleep. Listen to the birds.